Hello and welcome to an all-new DC Cast, Explosion Network's hub for discussing all things DC Comics related. Let's talk about everything happening in Metropolis, Gotham, and beyond. I'm your host, Ashley Hobley. Joining me today is Dylan Blight.
Coming to me here and talking about Agee.
Yes, Agee setting everything in motion. Today, we are talking about the premiere episode of Peacemaker Season 2. Of course, we'll be talking about everything up to this episode. So if you haven't watched Season 1 or the premiere, come back later. With that said, let's just dive straight into discussing Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 1, The Tires That Grind, directed by James Gunn, written by James Gunn. Dylan, what did you think of the episode?
I thought it was a solid opener that nothing too crazy, which is fine. It just puts a lot of the obviously
too crazy is a relative term.
Yeah, true, relative term. I think again, as I talked about when I talked about trailers, I was really intrigued to see how we're jumping straight to multiversal shit, which Marvel's just completely shut the bed with. So I was like, choice to do that, but I was okay with it because again, it's driven by story reason because of Peacemaker, and it makes sense, especially as we see throughout this episode. But I mean, by the time you get to the end of it, you're like, okay, sure, let's see how this plays out over the course of the season. Then,
I think it was a pretty strong opening, kind of pushing, getting everything in place to start the narrative for the season, I guess. Definitely a lot of place setting, and kind of introducing a couple of new characters and that kind of stuff, and that kind of thing, as well as like introducing the main premise and the emotional arcs, I guess, certain characters will be taking during the season. So, really strong opening. I'm gonna go through the episode from a recap from But Why Though, written by James Preston Poole. But first, we open the episode with the recap of Season 1, which has some major changes because it's now set in the DCU. So obviously, if you remember the Season 1 of Peacemaker, they save the day, escape, kill all the aliens, blow up the cow, they're walking out, and the Justice League shows up. We get a cameo from Jason Momoa and Ezra Miller as Aquaman and the Flash. He's now been retconned that it was in fact the Justice Gang who showed up, including they call for the Justice Gang. They show up. It seems to be Superman, Mr. Terrific, Supergirl, as well as Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, and Hawkgirl, who both appear in the episode. And Peacemaker explains that he threw up when he was traveling on Green Lantern's magic carpet. Green Lantern was super into it. He's read the rumor that Green Lantern has a vomit fetish. I thought a really smart way to like kind of retcon everything, and explain away last season.
Yep.
Because obviously things have changed.
It's like a couple references or whatever. They even have that other part where like they refilmed the scene before they even go in discussing Green Lantern. And then they have another scene they reshot of Waller's daughter saying something about justice.
Yes,
it was a few things.
Well, I don't know if they reshot it or they just dubbed it.
Yeah, I don't know. Reshot it, dubbed it, whatever. Yeah,
but yeah, they cut it together. Interesting. I was like, oh, it'd be crazy if they went back and like edited the end of last season. No, it's still there. So,
which I think is fine.
That's awesome.
It's like,
that's fine.
It's still there it's a funny scene.
We all understand.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Instead of being super worried about it, they took the right choice, which is just like we'll just fix it and move on with lives. People get it. People understand.
People understand.
Fine. Whatever.
All right. So Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 1 begins with Chris being awakened by his beloved pet Agee in the middle of the night. Peacemaker follows Agee into the quantum pocket dimension. He has his home only for Agee to be scratching at a mysterious door. Annoyed but curious, Chris walks through the door to find a nice home for a souped-up version of his costume, a blue version of his father's White Dragon costume, and a mysterious third costume all sit together in a nice display. Before Peacemaker can react, his father, Agee, walks out, happy to see his son in a way he never was when he was alive in Chris' world. Terrified and confused, Peacemaker stumbles out of his alternate dimension back into the quantum storage area. Quickly, he's just setting everything up. You know.
Well, I mean, he just obviously just killed his dad. Now he's and had such a traumatic experience with it all. Now suddenly it's oh, what are you doing here?
Yeah. I think obviously this quantum pocket dimension is going to be a big deal this season, based on what plays out in the rest of the episode, and just the fact that he just uses this section so casually. One, that he's just taken to living in his dad's house now. His dad's dead. I love that Eagly is like, it's too fucking cold. I'm not going outside. We're going here, Eagly. We fly around.
Fair enough.
And then he's got this asshole alien neighbor who just incinerated something. Very weird looking dude. So
yep. What's he saying when he goes off? He's like, "Fuck you too, then you fucking weirdo." Whatever.
Yeah, some very derogatory thing.
Yeah. It's funny.
We then cut to the new opening credits.
Yep.
Set to Foxy Shazam's "Oh Lord."
Good shit.
Not as fun as season 1. Maybe it's just not the shock factor of season 1, or the song not being as high paced.
I love this.
I don't know that it worked as well as the first season.
Yeah, man, that song. The first song is a bit more. It became very addictive. So I don't know. I thought this is still fun.
It's fine. Seemed like they pulled all of the dance moves from the first season as well.
I like the part.
Why are they all lying down at the end?
I don't know. It's a dance number, man. Stop trying to make sense of it.
But it's trying to tell us something.
Is it?
I know. I feel like the first season one tried to tell us stuff.
Did it?
Like, these characters are going to be in. And it's true. All right. 6 months have passed since Chris stumbled through the door into the alternate universe. He keeps in tenuous contact with his old team, the 11th Street Kids, though not as much as his Adrian Chase, vigilante, is back working as a busser at a restaurant, bickering with his manager. Leo Adebayo has been left by her girlfriend and lives a lonely life, save for interactions with John. Economist's storyline is the one that ties in the most with the wider DCU universe. John is still working for Amanda Waller's outfit Argus, which is trying to keep the metahumans in check. His task was surveilling Peacemaker's house, noticing some unusual activity that is reported directly to his superior, Rick Flag Sr., concerned that John isn't doing enough flag ops to bring in another agent. That said, his motivations are quickly deduced by Economist as he's waiting to get revenge for Peacemaker killing his son in the Suicide Squad. As intriguing a setup as it is, it feels more like table setting up than the integral part of the episode. So for now, it feels extraneous. That's fair.
Which part?
Yeah.
Like, because they're going off the Superman thing, or
just him being there, is obviously him surveilling him is like a point of attention, I guess, for the group. Interesting that he is the only one that's like still working for the government. So yeah. Amelia Harcourt has it the worst of the whole crew. Amanda Waller has made it difficult for her to get a job anywhere. She refuses a romantic relationship or even friend with Chris, let alone her friends. It is in anger management who issues comes to a head when she goes to a bar and starts a brawl that ends with her bloody beaten and thrown out on the concrete. Harcourt is clearly a punished character this season, with Holland sharpening the character's edges. Yeah, she has a very interesting arc this season, obviously, or this episode, where she is effectively denied the opportunity to work in any government agency for toxic masculinity, which we saw in the trailer, but very, very funny in the actual episode. The depiction of her smashing her, dashboard.
She's an angry like young lady, that one, I think.
Yeah. But that's how the government trained her to be, So is it her fault or?
No, of course not. I'm keen to see more of her character throughout this because it does seem like she's going to be a much more given more of an arc than what was given in the first season, because And I think that's the other exciting thing about this season is whereas the first season was heavy Peacemaker, main character energy, a lot of the characters didn't get anywhere near as interesting stories of their own, really. I think after them all being properly set up in the first season, now it seems we're going to get characters like her that get to have their own proper arcs that are more than just, oh, she doesn't hate that person now, or, oh, she fucked over her mum. I don't know what the...
Yeah. Why is she the way she is?
Yeah.
All right, so we do get a scene in which Peacemaker auditions for the Justice Gang, where Green Lantern and Hawkgirl reappear, joined by their bankroller Maxwell Lord. As Chris makes his case for his inclusion in the team, the Justice Gang don't realize Chris can hear them as they mercilessly make fun of him. The scene shows the power of Gunn's total grip as a gag turns into something deeply upsetting as Chris is attempting to pour his heart out to this corporate team that views him as an absolute joke. Really well put together scene. Obviously, you knew it wasn't going to go well when the fucking bunny girl worked out at the same building. Also, why are they taking mins in this abandoned toy store? Very weird. And I don't know. Was it meant to be like a glass mirror in front?
I think it was meant to be a glass mirror. I think they were meant to be able to see each other, but I just however Green guy got in there installed the thing. The button.
No, he hired the bodyguard to.
Oh, that's right, the bodyguard. Yeah, I think the off switch is now just the not as loud switch.
Yeah. Very funny scene, but also kind of crushing Peacemaker's kind of dreams, and like you see a little bit of the growth that I guess he's made since the first season of like, I don't kill people that much anymore, non-discriminately. Don't kill people who don't deserve it. So yeah, obviously that leads to him going to visit Harcourt, who it seems they slept together recently.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of them wants, well, she doesn't want to address it, even though he wants to.
Mm-hmm.
Although he doesn't want to say that he wants to address it or want more. And they're all both angry at each other. Leading him to do what all rational people do. Host an orgy.
Yeah. It's relatable. I do that all the time.
But even the gratuitous amounts of drugs and full frontal nudity can't cheer Chris up. He stumbles back into the pocket dimension and re-enters the alternate universe, setting in an alert with Rick Flag and the people at the Argus, I guess he's working at currently. He's got a lot of hats on at the moment, it seems, with him and what's happening in Superman. Because they're worried about another breach, like a pocket dimension breach, much in the way that Luther's pocket dimension created a hole in Superman.
Which makes sense.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, makes sense. Like as a lead on sending this post Superman as far as like a story that connect everything. It makes sense.
Yes. So yeah, then Economist like checks on him, sees he's he's staring at some sort of door, but he doesn't report it straight away to General Flag. Anyway, Chris stumbles into the pocket dimension and re-enters the alternate universe. There he encounters not only his father again, but his grown-up brother Keith, as we kind of speculated would happen. Instead of the abuse he suffered from Augie as a kid, abuse that at one point led to Chris accidentally killing Keith, he's instead met with warmth. In this world, the three work together as heroes, making genuine change in this universe. Chris even had a successful relationship with Harcourt at one point. Moved by this experience, Chris goes back to the pocket dimension where he's confronted. He's staying in the pocket dimension when he's confronted by that universe's Peacemaker, decked out in a fancy jackpot. As his second Peacemaker viciously comes after him, he makes one fancy move too many and ends up getting impaled on the ceiling. One Peacemaker cradles the other dying, then we cut to black. Clearly setting up our Peacemaker the opportunity to live in both worlds and go about having the best of both worlds is like kind of the premise, I guess, you know. So
yeah, I mean, based on the trailer and the way it ends, it does seem like either he starts going backwards and forwards for a little bit, but then I guess he falls so in love with having the proper hero lifestyle that he has for himself in the world that he probably just ends up living there. There has to be some obviously bad thing that happens in the proper timeline world, because they also have that thing in the trailer where Harcourt says about getting Peacemaker back or something like that. So I'm like, something must happen where they need to go on a mission to get him back from that world. I'm also presuming that not Mickey Rourke's, fucking hell, Jesus Christ, Michael Rooker's character is going to be in the alternate universe as well, maybe?
I don't know. It hasn't been decided yet, but
he's in the dancing scene at the start.
Yeah, but who knows what universes he'll be showing up in.
Yeah. There's also that's the other thing to note, I guess. No Eagly in the alternate timeline that we know of.
That we see,
yeah. But I mean, I feel like we would have seen him, right? Surely.
Yeah, I think so. But also, it would make sense why he wouldn't need Eagly in that universe.
Yeah,
because Eagly is filling in for as a friend / parental figure.
Yeah, true. Actually,
love person.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
He doesn't need Eagly in that universe. Yeah.
Maybe that's the storyline. That's the reason he's like, no, the universe where me and Eagly, that's the one. You know, it's the more important one.
Yeah. Am I going to abandon my eagle?
Yeah.
To be with a family that I'm keeping this huge secret that I'm not actually their proper, you know. I mean, the only other scene of note is we get Vigilante calling Economist as he's working his job.
Yeah, he knows a lot about owls,
which seems to be a regular occurrence
daily, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah.
And apparently owls' eyes are tubes.
Yeah. Well, they just fall out though, which is a fair comment. Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd they stay in when they look down? Don't know.
Veins, probably. You know? Yeah. I mean, anything else you want to talk about from this episode?
No, I think it was a solid episode. I think obviously just because I watched it so recent to you that I would say the first episode of season 1 was and I think obviously when you're trying to set the show on its path, the first episode premiere of the show, it goes harder than this one, which is sort of has the job of being post Superman, you know, like season 2 of the show, all these different elements.
Everything's already been set up. And
there's
not anything.
Yeah, so I think I'm keen to keep watching it, but I'd say that there was this episode seemed a lot of putting people and things in their places sort of episode. You know, like moving a lot of chess pieces to let us go from the next episode.
Yeah, so we also get economists asking Adebayo to hit Chris for information for his job. I don't think the fight scene in the bar where Harcourt gets shit beaten over because she's being toxic is super effective and well choreographed and all that kind of stuff.
No, that was good, yeah.
And also hard to watch at the end, which is they're just stomping on her.
But it seems like that's what she wanted. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. How do you feel about them? Question with that notice. How do you feel about them ripping on 30 Seconds Miles? Is that a direct reference to Jared Leto being the Joker in the Suicide Squad?
I hope so, because that would be fucking hilarious, actually. No, shit on 30 Seconds Miles all you want. They used to be a good band, had a couple good albums. We used to like Jared Leto, and now he's a cult leader, so, you know, whatever. What more can we say?
All right. Let us know what you thought of this week's episode of Peacemaker. And what do you think of 30 Seconds of Miles? By going to find us on Blue Sky at explosionnetwork.com or find us on other social media at Explosion Pod. If you want to help us out here at All New DC Cast, leave us a review on our podcast on Podchaser. Leave us 5 stars, and you can leave 5 stars or just tell people about the show. And if you've enjoyed this episode, thought it was worth $1, head on over to our Ko-fi page at explosionnetwork.com/support. Thank you very much for listening. Be sure to join us next week for the next discussion of the next episode of Peacemaker on an all-new GC cast.